Hey guys, let's get more news about Lakers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. JJ Redick admits Lakers don't have players who are good at guarding full court. The Los Angeles Lakers have now lost 3 games in a row following a 127-100 hammering at the hands of the Phoenix Suns at Footprint Center. The Lakers have struggled defensively during this losing streak, and after the game, head coach JJ Redick was asked why he thinks that has been the case, in his post-game press conference. "I would say, if you think about being disruptive, I think it starts there," Redick said. "Some of it is personnel-based. We don't necessarily have a ton of guys that can go and pick up full court. But teams are trying to disrupt what we do, just like we're trying to disrupt what other teams are doing. And whether that's with screening action, or DHOs, whatever it may be, I think we can be better there," Redick continued. "We can be better executing the game plan, but look, sometimes against a team like this, against a player like Nikola Jokic, you can game plan all you want, but great players are gonna be great sometimes. Their 3 guys were great tonight and Jokic was great the other night." The Lakers, who are now 10-7 on the season and 2-1 in the NBA Cup, certainly do lack players who are good at picking up full court. They don't have enough quality perimeter defenders, and it's a big reason why they have a defensive rating of 118.2, which ranks 27th in the NBA. What has also been a problem is effort. The Lakers can be accused of being a bit lazy at times, and fans called out Jackson Hayes over one sequence in this game against the Suns. It's not just role players like Hayes who have been called out either. During the Lakers' 127-102 loss to the Denver Nuggets on Saturday, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Austin Reeves didn't seem all too interested in running back on defense after a turnover. "That's not good enough." Redick stated during his press conference that the Lakers have been good when it comes to transition defense, but I disagree. Their opponents are averaging 19.2 fast break points per game, the second most in the league, with only the Utah Jazz allowing more. That's certainly not a good sign. I don't think the Lakers need to make wholesale changes to their roster, but if they are to avoid having another disappointing season, they need to bring in some better defenders. The return of Jared Vanderbilt will certainly help improve that defense, but they need more capable defenders. Redick has made some changes to the starting lineup in his relatively short tenure as head coach of the Lakers, and another one might be coming. The 40-year-old was asked during his press conference about Dalton Connect's production going down after going back to a bench role, and didn't rule out a return to the lineup for the rookie. "I thought he's gotten some good looks, and maybe there is something to the flow that he can get to and the rhythm he can get to if he's a starter," Redick said. "Like I said to you guys the other day, everything is always up for discussion in our coaches' meeting, so we'll look at everything." Connect averaged 23.8 points per game in the 4 games he started after Rui Hachimura suffered an ankle injury. He was arguably the biggest bright spot for the Lakers during that stretch, but once Hachimura returned, he had to give up that starting spot and hasn't made much of an impact since. NBA rumors: Dream 76ers trade target could slip to the Lakers. You already know this by now, but the Philadelphia 76ers are in a world of trouble. Yet with every passing loss, none of the shocking variant, everyone is still gobsmacked by how terrible they have been on both ends of the floor despite boasting one of, if not the most talented roster in the league on paper. At this juncture, the 76ers are nothing more than mere paper tigers. They do have 3 bona fide all-stars in Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, and Paul George, in addition to the front-runner for Rookie of the Year in guard Jared McCain, but beyond those 4, the team is literally littered with loose parts who have all looked like dangling pieces. For the 76ers to climb from the mudflat they find themselves stuck, the front office should do whatever it takes to salvage this season by seeking external help. They are way too talented and expensively assembled to simply punt this campaign, and they cannot afford to waste another year of Embiid's prime. Philadelphia does have an ample range of players they can choose to zero in on the trade market. One of those is Dorian Finney-Smith, who has been on the team's radar for quite some time now. However, it seems like the 76ers, if they truly follow up on this linkage, could very well face stiff competition for his services. According to Lakers insider Anthony Irwin in a recent exchange with Jake Fisher, Los Angeles is also eyeing Finney-Smith in a trade, their reported interest further stemming from last season. Brooklyn has made it abundantly clear that it intends to build from ground zero this time around, and that means they would be very amenable to moving their veteran commodities for the right price. Finney-Smith, one of the more desirable role players in the NBA, should command a considerable return for his services. The 76ers do have the salaries and ancillary draft picks to potentially move the Nets, but the Lakers are also in the same boat with their litany of role players they can consolidate in exchange for their veteran forward. Finney-Smith is a rangy, malleable defender who can guard most, if not all positions. Even better, he is a factor offensively thanks to his volume three-point shooting. This season, he is shooting a career-high 41% from three-point range. Hopefully, the moment trade restrictions get lifted, the Philadelphia 76ers immediately come calling for Dorian Finney-Smith and take on a more proactive stance to not let him slip to a team like the Lakers. NBA rumors, speculated trade target could legitimize Los Angeles Lakers in West. Even though the Los Angeles Lakers have lost 2 straight games, they've still gotten off to a strong start to the season, especially considering this is a team that not much was expected from. However, despite their strong start to the year, if the Lakers are going to emerge as a legit contender in the Western Conference, they'll almost certainly have to make a trade deadline upgrade to their roster. While much has been made about their desire to acquire a starting caliber center, the argument could be made that they would very much benefit from a versatile player in the frontcourt, no matter what position they would theoretically play. As we inch closer to the NBA trade deadline, the list of trade targets linked to the Lakers is only going to climb. Lakers insider Anthony Irwin hinted that the team is still interested in a potential trade of Dorian Finney-Smith. Irwin noted that the Lakers inquired about DFS last season, but a deal never came to fruition. With the way the Brooklyn Nets are expected to operate heading into the trade deadline, DFS could be an option again for the Lakers. And looking at what the Lakers need in the frontcourt, DFS is a player who could legitimize the team as a contender in the West. In many ways, DFS could fill a lot of what the Lakers need in the frontcourt. Even though he's not necessarily a center, he could certainly help take some of the defensive heat off Anthony Davis on a night-to-night basis. The big question is whether AD and DFS could coexist on the floor together. On paper, you'd have to believe so. Averaging 11 points and 5 rebounds per game on 47% shooting from the field and 41% shooting from three-point range, while also emerging as a versatile defensive force, there's reason to believe that DFS could be the trade target that the Lakers need. Whether Los Angeles would be willing to part ways with the assets that it's likely going to take to get a deal done remains to be seen. However, to say that there aren't trade targets to help the Lakers push them up the West hierarchy is quite foolish. Whether Los Angeles will want to go all in for this core is the big question. But if the Lakers continue to play at the pace they've been performing at through the first month plus of the season, it's going to be difficult for the front office not to explore a needle-moving trade at the deadline. Maybe DFS could be the Lakers' primary target. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Dorian Finney? Leave your opinion in the comments.